ask you about quitting? Because I love the Navy SEAL attitude towards it. And I love how it's just we just don't quit. You don't. It's not part of the Navy SEAL code. And we've been talking about this on the show about how more and more in our country we seem to be like not only seeing more quitting, but celebration of quitting. Like, yes, somehow it was strong to quit, and we should celebrate the quitting because we celebrate, quote, mental health. One took care of oneself. And without singling anybody out, I just feel like to me, I object to it because I much rather have my kids have the Marcus and Morgan Luttrell mindset of, no, you just don't. It's not an option. It's not an available option to you. But what do you guys think?
We believe exactly what you just stated.
We'll back you up 100%.
And it's when.
So what's happening to us? Why are we doing that?
I don't understand it right now. Maybe it's
so everybody can be a winner.
Yeah.
So everybody can be a winner.
Or so you don't have to face adversity and be a loser.
Wow.
I mean, we learn more in losing than we ever did in winning. That's just part of it. It's when
that's how you know you're making progress. Because if you went into it and you just kept going, you would never know if how hard you trained, if it worked out. Those when you hit those resistance marks, that's to let you know how far you went in training. When you hit those big walls, that means you're going, past it. So they're there for a reason.
So like in our previous community, you win. And when you get your ass handed to you, I mean, there's no quitting. You can't say, oh, hey, look, I'm having a bad day. I'm going back to the house. There's none of that. We all lose together as a team. And then we go back and we figure out why we lost. And then we make ourselves even better because getting outside your comfort zone and losing, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, you're only a loser by yourself, period. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, if the team went down, then that was a collective. It was just the way it was supposed to. Whatever. You can only be a loser by yourself.
Yeah, we don't have the opportunity to have the mental. I started to become mentally weak. Hell Week gets that out of everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
You literally cannot be laying down and taking fire and going. I've never been in this position before. I'm going to go home.
That has been
you cannot do, and we don't. That's not something. That's not something the military community does as a whole.
You don't want to see your dad's last name on one of those helmets by that quit bell.
No. That would never happen. Only way that helmet would have been under that bell is if our head was in it.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, I think it's because I'm looking at you two thinking this is how you build a soldier. This is how you build a SEAL, right? Like what happened in the Luttrell family that led to these two extraordinary men. And it goes back a ways, like the military family, the never quit attitude, your mom toughening you up, but with love, your dad sort of not tolerating any BS. This guy, Billy Soup Bones, who is, adding another level of toughness. And I think we've skipped over an important one, which is love of America. You are a patriotic family and you were taught from an early age to love this country, Marcus. You put it in your book, to die for any woman and fight beside any man without hesitation or hopes of individual achievement. To love this country, your dad taught you, and its people more than you loved yourself. How does he do that? Like, I think a lot of parents out there are saying to themselves, how do I do that right now? You guys are both dads now. How does one teach that?
Let them live life. Let them get out there and experience it, because there is no living unless you have somebody next to you. There is no reality unless there's somebody next to you to base it off of. Otherwise, you're just living in open space. So that it's kind of like a step-by-step process. You only got one day down here. Tomorrow, you don't have any idea if you're going to see it. Yesterday's gone. That's why we say the only easy day is yesterday. You wake up in the morning, see what you can do. The further you travel away from your day, the further you're traveling away what you're supposed to be doing. And the day is too heavy. Just like fish get carried by the water, the birds get carried by the air. You're actually supposed to get carried by your day. If you're meeting some resistance, you're in the wrong spot. And the people in our lives we're talking like stones, and we're blades. And they're either going to sharpen you, polish you, or dull you out. And if your life starts to get dull, look around you. And people who say they don't love this country or they hate this, that's the town or whatever the environment they're living in. I heard something like 50-something% of all people on either the planet or the country don't leave the town they're raised in. So think about that. So just change your environment and everything will change. There is literally somebody out here waiting on you to meet you to create a life. And our childhood was created. I mean, we loved growing up, man. It was hard, but I mean, it wasn't. When people when they hear us talk about how things are hard, they say, yeah, it was truly, but it was so worth it because of the time you're having in it. There's a difference between painful and hard. And we just had that. We were blessed with it.
I think one thing most certainly is Mark's now, nobody ever believed in us. especially when we were telling we wanted to be in the teams. We were little bitty guys. And I mean, all the way from, I'll be honest, I'll be truthful. I mean, I was not good in academics. I was not a smart kid. Most certainly wasn't an athletic kid. We were small. We didn't play college. We didn't play football. We were too small. Played tennis.
I was in drama. I was in theater.
Come on.
What's up?
Yeah. No. Little bitty guys.
I don't believe you. Seriously.
Yeah, we played tennis.
I have a letter. I'm a letterman in theater.
In drama.
What did you star in? Did you have like the lead role in any particular number?
I played the
You're the one with the show.
I played the grandmother. I played the grandmother in The Picnic. One act play. But anyway, there came a point in time where I got tired. We got tired of people calling us stupid. Got tired of people calling us weak. And there came a point in time where there was absolutely nothing. The more miserable we became in training, and especially when we went into the military, the better off we were. And it was strictly a mindset. And you asked about how do we raise our children. I try to give my sons, I have 2 sons, I try to lend them perspective of the things that I've seen and done. I have to break it down to a 4-year-old and 8-year-old level. But I give them relative experience. Why, hey, this is why you don't want to quit. This is why it's okay to fail. You fail forward. This is okay. It's okay to have certain things happen to you because we learn from it. We don't run from it. And that not only builds up their physical fortitude, but also their mental fortitude to know, hey, look, you failed your math test. Hey, we'll just come home. Mom, Dad will sit here. We will work harder. And hey, can you ace that? And they ace the next one. Now you understand why it takes work to accomplish something. Nothing's free. Nothing's going to be given to you. And I don't care who you are. If you when you get out of high school, when you get out of college, nobody's going to be standing there. Everybody's going to be looking to take you down. So I think we're failing ourselves at the younger levels when they get out and as younger adults are like, well, everything's supposed to be given to me. It's not supposed to be challenging. Yeah, it is. Most certainly is.
That's right. Yeah, and then you have to leave it to protect your mental health.
Yeah. Well, that leads me to our father. He would tell us, he's like, I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend. I'm your father. And reason being is we still have the same crew we had when we were boys, and we do stupid things with our friends. Your kids are the one person you can't be friends with. I mean, it talks about that in the Bible. You're not even supposed to like your dad. You got to respect him. He's supposed to keep everything in check. You're loved and beloved by your mom. My father, he would say, my shoes aren't here for you to walk in. You can step in them every now and again if you need to. But other than that, I'm going to give you discipline every day of your life. And through discipline, you're going to gain respect for yourself and respect for other people. The only time you ever lose your respect is when you lose your discipline. You're the only one that can throw that away. And think about it, break it down to one person on one person. If you try to consider yourself one person on life and big, you'll break. Same way with war. If we're standing out on a battlefield and there's 1 million people standing in front of me and everyone's freaking out, like, how are we going to beat this number? I was like, I'm going to beat that dude standing right in front of me. And when I'm done with him, I'm going to go to the next one. You get the guy and that's how we worry about it. And as you go through life, you learn from 0 to 40, you have an opinion. 40 to 60 is perspective, and then wisdom. Hopefully she'll show up later. But when you go through life, you learn from each experience. Imagine each person that you run into is designed to teach you something about yourself, good, bad, or indifferent. And never look at it as a bad day. It's just either hard or and it's training. Imagine all of life is training. The minute you are born, you start dying. You come down here to learn how to live while you're dying. So how are you going to do it? And the coolest part about it is it's only one day. You wake up tired the next day, well, then that's how you came in. And you just keep going. And then you always respect the ones around you because they're the ones that actually show you life. Otherwise, it's just be an empty place.